Okay, it's May 28th, 80 degrees, and that's a real 80 degrees, not just sunshine. UPS truck. And I came out earlier today, I was like, oh, what a nice blue sky, but then I looked a little closer. And this is actually much worse than when I came out earlier. And I saw a very, very thin layer of looked like clouds, right? And that's the kind of air, the kind of sky that I said to myself, that's the kind of sky that there's going to be lots of trails in pretty soon. If a plane flies through that, it's going to leave a trail. And sure enough, 2 seconds later it did. And so what you see here is all man-made. That's all man-made. And I don't know if that bothers you or not. But when it's like that thick, and that, it just spreads across the sky. I mean, that to me makes it look like it's meant to be there, like that's the plan, to cover the sky with this stuff, whatever it is, even if it is just water vapor. It's as if someone wants to cover the sky, and it's not an accident. That's just what it looks like. I had a friend from volleyball asking me about my YouTube videos and chemtrails and what is my case for chemtrails, and really he's asking the wrong person, because I don't know if those are chemtrails. I know that they're man-made. That's all I know. Do they put anything special in the fuel? I don't know. I seriously doubt they dump stuff out the back of normal airline flights. That's what I don't believe that. But when you see white skies, you know that trails are going to end up persisting in it. What that white sky gunk comes from, I don't know. It could just be other airplanes earlier on. Or it could be coal pollution. It could literally be that. And that's what makes these trails persist nowadays. I don't know. So it could just be all accidental. But it is there, and it's not exactly the way it used to be. Okay, that's all I know. But I would like to say that just because I don't believe they're dumping stuff out of the back of airline flights, that does not mean that the CIA/military isn't literally dumping stuff in our skies that makes this possible. They could very well be. You have no knowledge of what they do, and I don't either. So all I mentioned was that they did the radioactive spraying back in the 50s and 60s. And I just looked it back up on YouTube, and yeah, it's still there. I will put a link to this in the description box about how the military, under the guise of trying to figure out whether they could put a smoke screen up against a nuclear attack or some bullshit like that, sprayed a compound of cadmium and some other stuff, and possibly radioactive material in it, in St. Louis and Corpus Christi, Texas, back in the 50s and 60s. And they did not tell the residents that they were doing it. They put little puffers on top of an apartment block, a low-income apartment block, so that for, I don't know, 9 years or something, they were exposed to that potentially radioactive material. They do not admit that it was radioactive, they just say that's secret. The only thing they admit to is that there was some fluorescent compound in it or something like that. But supposedly it was to test the effects of whatever they were spraying on people's lungs. But weirdly, they never did any follow-up tests on the people that ended up getting sprayed. So what were they really doing? I mean, if you don't follow up, does that count as a test? Or are you just, spraying people as if they're roaches? You got to follow up if it's an experiment, right? Anyways, so that really happened, and I'll leave a link to that. And then there's the whole Tuskegee syphilis debacle from 1932 to 1972, where they pretended to a group of black people that they were treating them for syphilis, or treating them in some way. They didn't even mention the word syphilis to them. They were giving them some treatment for something. And they all had syphilis, but they were not being cured. Anyways, I'll leave a link to that. It's quite interesting. And horrible at the same time. So, yeah, our government is twisted. And so when I see this stuff in the sky, I don't automatically think, oh, nice white clouds. I think there is a possibility that somebody might be doing something for some reason other than my good. I don't need to know what the reasoning is, because it's just a possibility. We live in a probabilistic reality. And it's highly probable that a twisted government, such as we do have, and I have enough evidence to support that in my mind, a twisted government could easily do this to us, or to whoever they're doing it to. I don't know what their agenda is specifically enough to tell someone about it. So it is good that my friend had an inquisitive mind. That's good. An inquisitive, open mind is the best, I think. So I'm always open to, this is just an accident of circumstances, even though it looks the other way at the moment. Okay, peace out. Oh wait, and another thing he asked me was, he's looking for a place on the, anywhere on the internet. He asked me, is there some place I can go to get reliable information on this? And I said no. Because I have not found any reliable information on it. But I will put that out there. If anybody does know of some real information, a place to look, a link, anything, please pass that on. We're all interested in realistic information. Some of the stuff, I've mentioned this before, that I question is like, why, what in the world are they spraying? Some of that is good, and I think some of it is just a bunch of junk and can't necessarily be trusted. It could be all real, I don't know. That's what got me interested in it, but then I took a second look and I was like, maybe a lot of this is just a feeling that it's real and not quite scientific or whatever. But so, if you get something to pass on, please do. It would be appreciated. Good day. Oops, yeah, one more thing. I know what contrails are. Please don't try to explain them to me. I know about moisture in the air and density and pressure and vacuum and all that stuff. I know how airplanes work and everything. So I know what a contrail is, but that doesn't mean that they can't put something in a fuel that ends up in the contrail. And I'm not talking to anyone in particular, but lots of people end up saying, "That's just contrail. Duh, you stupid." Yeah, it's a contrail, okay? With chemicals in it, maybe. Maybe. Don't know. Persistent contrail, that's all I'm saying. Is what most people would call a chemtrail. Persistent contrail with chemicals in it is what they believe is a chemtrail. Sorry about the robot voice. Okay, goodbye.